Shalom, Israel. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to the Akim that's doing this work in sincerity and truth. And what I have here on the screen here is a promotional for season. I think it's believed that this season 7 of a show called Veep on HBO. Okay, and it's a show primarily about a woman here that she's vice president. Okay, so it's an ongoing series on HBO. But I seen this ad, for this show for the upcoming season though. And looking at the spiritual aspects of this picture, you know, and you have it to where these are basically her staff members that are basically holding her up, you know. Um, I just wanted to pull out a couple of scriptures concerning this picture. So hope it's edifying. All right. Um, this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And this picture right here is like worth 1,000 words, because here it is. You have them trying to hold her up when she's ultimately fallen. You see, and when you really get the whole view of this picture, when you see the actual soil that they're standing on, it's basically just uh, uh dirt and just soil. It just looks like a desolate piece of ground that they're actually standing on, you know. So you know, I mean, this place is done, and this is spiritual, and it's almost like these insiders, kind of know, the gist of what's going on here, and they're up trying to uphold this place. You see, right? Take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the dye, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. But the point is that the nakedness of this place is being shown, to the world. You know, you got a lot of people here in America that's basically blinded to what's really going on in the real world. And they have a saying. The other nations have a saying that the Americans are the dumbest people on the planet. Because they're not educated in uh, current world events. They're oblivious to it though, because this place is like one big Disney World, and that's by design through the distractions that are set forth in front of us. You see, so so then when you actually have some type of uh, formidable current event news that comes to the forefront, though, you got stupid, dumb Americans in their ignorance that utter foolishness. They don't even know what the hell's going on. They take everything lightly. The posturing of the other nations, man. They take that lightly, man. The the downward spiral of this country. Okay, they take it very lightly. Because there are so many distractions that are set forth here. Folly. Media, television. Sports. These are all forms of distractions. These are all forms of distractions. I just wanted to kind of bounce around a little bit though, right? This is verse 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither did thou remember thou latter end of it. And you don't, you propping yourself up like you're gonna sit like this untouched virgin forever, but you don't consider your latter end. You see, right? Verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, okay? Thou shalt be thou art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Right? Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, and they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. And your enchantments can't save this place, you know. And widowhood is coming to this place. Okay, this place will be touched. You know, just say Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, you have a great abundance of enchantments to keep yourself in power. You know, but it's gonna come to naught. You see, you know, you trust in your wickedness. You know, you know, and the whole thing is that, you know, the wisdom and knowledge are perverted thee. You know, you're perverted by your own understanding. Okay, you see, you know. Let me get let me jump around a little bit. Let me get Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So that's what's coming here. You know, I mean, this place takes after all of the wickedness and abominations of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. You know, so what more do you think destruction is coming to this place that came to Sodom and Gomorrah? You know, this is in the scriptures. You see, this is like a very spiritual right here, man. This is very spiritual right here. You know, that's that lady in Scarlet right there. You know, you know. Let me get Jeremiah. Bear with me out here. Let's see. Jeremiah 50. Let's see. Let me go to 51. Verse 6. Flee out the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. You know, and it's just fitting how, you know, it's always referred to Babylon as a her, you know, as a woman, as a lady, you know. And you know, you got our people too that this place is broken down, man. And you know, just the care of this place was what was holding this place up. You know, you trying to this place is being used. You're using this as a crutch. You know, this lady's being used as a crutch right now. They're using the people to hold it up. You know, when it's about to fall. You know, verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, and the nations are starting to posture now because they are mad. You know, they're these weak nations, man, are actually America's been diminished to be on the same playing field as these other nations. You know, you have a lot of nations that have nuclear capability. You know, and America just reached its big speed bump, you know, in the world because, you know, here it is. You got this country that's so powerful, you know, they can't even take over Syria, you know, they can't even take over something like Syria. It's been an ongoing battle for them to even go into Syria, and the main reason is because you have Russia, okay, which is sticking up for on behalf of Syria. That's that big speed bump, man. That's that big speed bump that's in the way. You see? That's the big speed bump that's in the way. And it's not gonna be. You're not gonna be able to go any further in your and your evil doings. You see? You know? You know? Verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, for she that may be healed. Right? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go every one to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And we're coming into that time now, you know? And, people are holding this place up, and people are going to go back to their own countries and forsake this place, you know? You know? This place will be forsaken, you know? Let me get Nahum, chapter 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. And that's how you had always had a hold of this earth. With your witchcraft. And you sell the nations through your whoredoms. You give the other nations a piece of your glory, basically just to string them along in deceitfulness. You know. Verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and set thee as a gazing stock. Right? And this was basically prophesied to Nineveh. Okay? All right? But this can also apply to this now. So the Lord destroyed Nineveh. What more would He's going to destroy Babylon? You see? And your nakedness is going to be shown. Your nakedness is going to be shown. The race riots that are about to come here is going to be shown in front of all the nations, man. The filth of this place, man, is going to be revealed to the world. And it's starting to be revealed. And that you're gonna make you a vile, make this place vile. The Lord said He'll make this place an abominable filth, and He'll make it vile and set thee as a gazing stock. Though that's the missiles that's gonna be here. This place will be desolate, and it will be as a gazing stock to the whole world. All right, and it's gonna just be put forth as an example of this, how wicked this kingdom is. Okay, and it's gonna be the vengeance of the Lord. It's gonna be the vengeance of the Lord. And they have another picture here. This was I believe this was the season prior, season 6. I got a script for this one. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay? And that is America, because they have their hand in the world. Okay? They have embassies in hundreds of countries, and they're a busybody in the earth. Okay, they sit upon waters because a lot of they influence a lot of these countries. Their influence is heavy with a lot of these countries, as far as with trade, as far as with their democracy. Okay, their ideology that they push on the world. This is that great whore that sitteth upon the many waters. With whom, all right, verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Okay, and this is that wine, that philosophy, that you made the world to drink. You made the world to drink that. You see, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw the woman sitting upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. But that woman in that scarlet is representing Babylon, you know? And they put forth the agenda through NATO and the EU, you know? You see? You know? Verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, and having a cup on her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. You know? And that's mystery Babylon. You know? This is the mother of all harlots, man. You know, on the earth. You see? You know? The Lord, you was a golden cup in the Lord's hand now. So now that cup is about to be taken away. You know? But it's just fitting that these advertisements for the show, you know, speaks volumes in the spirit. You see, it speaks volumes in the spirit. You know, all right. This is that version that's you're gonna get popped. You're about to get popped. You know, so you know that time is coming, man, for this place. You know, so with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and of the elders, a great millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim that's doing this work in sincerity and truth. Shalom.